didn't we? Arsenal had played before that. We had a double header of North London clubs yesterday. 3-0 in the end that they won in their game. And there were this brace that was scored by a stand-in striker with Mikel Merino, with obviously the injury for Gyokeres. Arsenal, it was almost like they were just sort of going through the motions, Owen.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so good defensively, but obviously Mikel Merino, I mean, he must be getting close to being a centre forward with the amount of goals that he scores. He's absolutely unbelievable. And obviously, I think the size of this Arsenal team is such a thing. Even Mikel, he's big physical presence. You got, you think about Gabriel in there. You got Declan. They have this physical presence. Max Daumann obviously coming on. I mean, what a story. 15 years old. I hadn't even moved to Munich to get into the academy. I was 16 years old. This kid comes on, and the remarkable thing about him is he plays with such composure. It's remarkable. He looks like he belongs, and really, really happened for him. He's a special, special player. Max
Daumann, youngest player at 15 years of age to play in the Champions League. A record that is just, what, an incredible record for a teenager, and a young teenager at that. We'll talk more about Arsenal.
Arsene Wenger believes only 2 non-English clubs are capable of stopping Arsenal from winning the Champions League this season. Mikel Arteta's informed side made it 4 wins from 4 in Europe after beating Slavia Prague 3-0 on Tuesday night, and remarkably, they are yet to concede their first goal in the competition. It is no surprise, then, that they have been tipped by pundits and supporters alike to go the distance and finally get their hands on the coveted trophy. Fresh from improving their squad during the summer, they have also flown out of the blocks in the Premier League, sitting top of the pile and 6 points clear already of closest challengers Manchester City. They look poised to push for silverware on multiple fronts. Wenger came mightily close to ending the club's Champions League duck in 2006, having seen his side agonizingly lose to Barcelona in the final, but he is confident the Gunners can go one better this campaign. Wenger tips Bayern Munich and PSG as Champions League contenders. Delivering his verdict on his title favourites for being sports, Wenger admitted he also expects fellow heavyweights Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain to be in the hunt. I would say they're the 2 teams who can win the Champions League this season, outside England. One of the other teams, of course, could be Real Madrid, but Bayern Munich or Paris Saint-Germain. No one wonders in their league if they will win their championship. Explaining his decision further, the iconic Frenchman added Paris Saint-Germain will win the championship in France and Bayern have nearly already won the championship in Germany, so their season, of course, will be in Europe. They will have to fight against the 5 teams in the Premier League. That will be very interesting. Paris Saint-Germain at the moment are not at their best, Real Madrid at Liverpool are fighting to be their best, then Bayern are in full power. Vincent Kompany's Bayern moved level on points with Arsenal at the top of the league phase after also winning all 4 of their opening fixtures, including a statement 2-1 victory against PSG at the Parc des Princes. The Bundesliga side held out for all 3 points despite Luis Diaz, their 2-goal hero, being sent off for a rash challenge in the first half. PSG are, of course, the reigning champions, courtesy of a comprehensive 5-0 thrashing of Inter Milan in the final back in May. They sat 3rd in the table ahead of Wednesday's round of matches and could well live up to Wenger's lofty expectations, even in light of their setback at the hands of Bayern. Arteta delighted with Arsenal victory. Speaking post-match, Arteta heaped praise on his Arsenal players for the manner of their win in Prague, as well as their ability to hold their own against the combative hosts. "I'm really happy with the win, for in a row without conceding a goal. A really tough place to come. I told the boys, the game that we had to expect, a team that is super intense, very direct, man-to-man, so very short sequences of play, a lot of fouls, a lot of restarts, very difficult to get any fluency in the match." Next up for Arsenal is a testing away trip to Sunderland in the Premier League, while a North London derby against Tottenham awaits after the international break. They will then resume their Champions League bid with a home showdown against Bayern, a contest which could well decide who finishes at the top of the table ahead of the knockout stages. Arsenal striker Viktor Gyökeres is set for a period on the sidelines after picking up a suspected hamstring injury, with a reliable club insider sharing the true extent of his problem and expected return date. Gyokeres was just beginning to catch fire with 3 strikes in his last 3 appearances, following a barren run of 7 consecutive games without a goal before he ended the drought against Atletico Madrid. The 27-year-old, signed for an initial $55 million which could rise to $64 million if add-ons are met, was brought in by sporting director Andrea Berta as the club's statement signing of the summer. After a sensational haul of 97 goals in 102 appearances for Sporting Camp, marking him out as one of Europe's most lethal marksmen, Mikel Arteta was understandably excited by Gyökeres' arrival at N5. While Gyökeres hasn't exactly free-scored, the Sweden international has added something entirely unique to their forward line with pace, power, and intelligent runs to drag opposition defenders away and free up space for Arsenal's attackers. Now, according to reliable insider hand of Arsenal via X, this still looks like the most likely outcome so far. It is believed that Gyökeres' injury is on the minor end of the spectrum, and while more tests are still to be conducted, the club are relaxed about his situation. This comes as a major boost for Arteta, who is already without the likes of Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, and Noni Madueke. Arsenal have done amazingly to navigate this plethora of injuries to attacking players, with makeshift number 9 Mikel Merino showcasing his ability in the role once again at Slavia Prague on Tuesday. Speaking before their win away to Burnley last weekend, Arteta said that Odegaard, Havertz and Madueke are all closing in on returns and could play against Tottenham as well. The North Londoners could have a near-full attacking complement for one of their most important games of the season, with Havertz blowing away Arsenal staff after his faster-than-anticipated rehab. The same can be said of Madueke, who has apparently been racing to get back fit. Arsenal striker Viktor Gyökeres has broken his silence after picking up a muscular injury in the Gunners' win over Burnley. The Swedish striker was left out of the Gunners' travelling squad for the 3-0 win over Slavia Prague in the Champions League on Tuesday night. Mikel Merino grabbed a brace for Mikel Arteta's side after Bukayo Saka's opener to maintain their 100% record in Europe's elite competition. Gyökeres, who has not been called up for the Swedish national side after picking up the injury against Burnley, shared a two-word message celebrating the win in Prague.